Listen, if he said, I hate you, you'd leave. But he doesn't. He says, I love you, while treating you like a burden, a nag, an enemy, and an afterthought. So let's talk about what it really looks like when your husband or boyfriend hates you but won't admit it. I'm Lisa Sonni, a relationship coach, author, and the creator of the Break and Rebuild method. I teach women how to recognize abuse that actually hides behind the word love. So if you're done feeling crazy, feeling invisible in your own relationship, hit subscribe because I make videos that name this for what it is. I'm outlining 8 ways that you can tell. So let's get into it. And stick around to the end because the worst one is last. I want you to comment which of the 8 that you experienced. And yes, it can absolutely be more than one. Number 8, he treats you like an obligation, not a partner, right? You feel like a burden. Your needs are just interruptions. You start telling yourself that he's just tired or stressed or busy, that you're being dramatic. When you're upset, he's annoyed, right? He disappears when you need support. He's indifferent when you're excited. Now, I watched a video of a woman that was all excited for her birthday date, which she planned herself. That's a red flag on its own. And on camera, she asked him if he was excited, and he's like, this makes no difference to me. He was just there, and frankly, he was sucking the fun out of her day. That's not a bad mood. That's consistent dismissal. And I actually classify this as ambient abuse. Just making you feel like you're something he has to do, right? Not the woman that he wants to spend time with because he enjoys it, because he chooses it, because he chooses to be in a relationship with you. You feel like you're walking on eggshells just to get basic human decency. This guy doesn't see you as an equal. He sees you as an obligation. He doesn't partner with you. He tolerates you, and it shows. Coming in at number 7, he ruins your joy on purpose. He makes you feel crazy, right? Like happiness isn't allowed unless it serves him. You start to downplay your happiness, right? You shrink your good news. You tell yourself he didn't mean it. You're just being sensitive. Imagine you're taking a picture of your food at a gorgeous restaurant and he reaches over and he ruins the presentation of the food with his fork. I've seen it in so many videos online. No, it's not just a joke. That man is a hater. He hates you, right? You're laughing with a friend, he sulks or interrupts, and suddenly he needs your attention. You're proud of something you accomplished, he changes the subject, he makes a sarcastic comment, or he reminds you of something that you didn't do. It is not a coincidence when that happens. It's sabotage. He doesn't like it when you're happy unless he caused it or controls it. Number 6, he humiliates you. And it's subtle. You laugh it off in front of other people, but maybe you cry later. You tell yourself, that's just how he is, or he's joking, because the alternative, he's trying to hurt you. It's too painful to admit. On your wedding day, he's the guy that smashes cake in your face. You're in full makeup and a dress worth more than your rent. Everyone's watching. He laughs. Some people laugh. You don't. Or you laugh because you have to, and he tells you that you're overreacting. Or worse, he'll use that moment to prove to everybody that you can't take a joke. You remember that man that went viral for saying in his wedding vows that he would be happy if she promises to keep his belly full and his balls empty? He did that in front of both of their families, his mother at the altar, and her minor children. That's humiliating her in a very permanent and public way. It's on the internet as well. Not only did she laugh at the altar, she made a follow-up video saying it's just his sense of humor. Yeah, girl, we know. His humor is in humiliating you. You ask him not to share something personal, he's going to share a story at a party and he's going to laugh. You tell him you're insecure about something, that'll be the punchline that he uses in front of his friends. He teases you in front of your kids, he mocks your tone, or he'll film your breakdown and show it to others. These are not jokes. They're micro humiliations. He wants you to feel small and he wants everyone to see it. It's not a joke. Number 5, he has a whole life that you're not invited to, right? This is where you feel invisible, like a roommate, basically like a ghost. You start telling yourself that he just needs space, men need their independence, but deep down, it feels like rejection, doesn't it? Right? You ask for time together and he acts like you're asking for too much. You don't know his schedule. You learn about his plans through Instagram. You learn where he was on his stories. He's not unavailable. He's unavailable to you. And if you bring it up, he accuses you of being controlling, needy, or insecure. Number 4, he talks to you like he can't stand you. right? You feel like you're bothering him just by existing. You're the noise in his life that he wishes he could just hit that mute button. And you tell yourself, at least he's not yelling, as if that's the standard now. And we know the trope, right? The man that can't stand being married, even though he bought a ring, asked you, paid for, and showed up to the wedding, but he couldn't be bothered to participate in the very life that he asked for. Listen, do not ever let a man convince you that men don't benefit from marriage. He doesn't love you. He hates you, but he'll marry you. When he speaks, it's cold, it's flat, dismissive. Every word is just littered with contempt. You ask him something, he grunts. You try to connect, he stares at his damn phone. You want to say something vulnerable, he'll change the subject. So even when he's not saying something particularly cruel, he's withholding kindness. It's emotional starvation. You feel more alone with him than you do by yourself. And we all know, right? Being lonely in a relationship is so much worse than being lonely and single. Number 3, he withholds affection, but he blames you for it. You feel touch-starved and ashamed at the same time. You wonder if you're just not lovable. You tell yourself, maybe I'm not trying hard enough, or maybe I've changed. He doesn't hold your hand. He doesn't kiss you goodbye. He doesn't hug you unless he wants something in return, right? You ask if everything's okay. He'll tell you you're being clingy. You try to fix it. He'll tell you you're the problem. And this isn't just emotional distance, or it's not usually just that. It's punishment. He wants you to beg for scraps of attention just to feel rejected anyway. And yet, when it comes to spicy time, oh, he's available. He still wants that. But there's no warmth. There's no emotional connection, right? There's no touches that aren't a lead up to the spicy time act. Yeah, he might offer you a massage, but only if it ends in what he wants. And if it doesn't, he sulks. He accuses you of teasing. He acts entitled to your body. That's not desire. That's control disguised as intimacy. My ex actually used to walk behind me on stairs and grab me, in a way that kind of made my skin crawl and made me jump. I would leap forward on the stairs. That man knew I hated it. He knew. Eventually, I had to literally stop going up in front of him, right? I'd make him go up first to protect myself against my own partner. He'd come up and he'd aggressively grope me here like this in a way that made me feel like he was trying to make me angry, right? Not actually be close. And then later he'd be all pissed off and furious that I wasn't in the mood. I'd love to know how pissing me off is supposed to make me want to connect. It's not, right? That's not what it was for. It was a power move. It was about reminding me that my body wasn't mine and he can grab it and touch it anytime. Okay, let's get into these final 2 because these are the top 2 worst ones. Coming in at number 2, he enjoys watching you struggle. You feel alone, like nobody's coming to help you, right? Asking for help is a trap with a man like this. Now you tell yourself, I shouldn't need anything, because every time you do, it makes it worse. You know that hyper independence is a trauma response, right? That could be its own whole video. Now, this is where weaponized incompetence lives, right? That fake helplessness that kind of forces you to do everything while he pretends he just doesn't know how. But he knows, or he doesn't want to learn. Oh, he knows. He knows. He just doesn't want to lift a finger for you or your life together. And I'll be honest with you, this was me. I used to walk in with like all the groceries, making multiple trips from the car, bags on my arms, while my ex lay on the couch in his underwear watching TV. He wouldn't move, wouldn't offer to help. He watched me carry the weight, literally and emotionally, and he liked it that way. If I asked for help, like lazy men tell you to, just ask, he'd say, you seem like you've got it. Oh, I thought you were a strong, independent woman. Because you being overwhelmed makes him feel in control. When you're drained, you can't complain. You are literally too tired. You being exhausted gives him power. You're sick, he complains about dinner. What am I supposed to eat? You're crying, he's going to walk out of the room, or he'll get mad, or he'll mock you. If you're anxious, he'll roll his eyes. You tell him how much pain you're in, and he says, man, you always make everything about you. You are suffering in this relationship, and he likes it that way. That's not neglect. It's cruelty. And it shows up in small ways too, right? You ask for help with the kids while you're sick. He's going to make a big show of doing everything so that you feel guilty for being sick. You're overwhelmed and you say you need a break. That guy's going golfing. He'll disappear for hours. He'll leave you to clean up the mess. You're grieving a loss. He'll tell you you're being dramatic, right? This is not a guy that necessarily says, good, you deserve this. That's too direct. But everything in his body language does say that. He gets something from watching you crumble, watching you struggle. Okay, here's the last one. And in my opinion, it is the worst. Number one, he punishes you for existing. You feel like a problem, like whatever you do is wrong. You tell yourself, I just need to find the right balance, the right words, the right moment. But there isn't one because the goalposts keep moving. You don't, you've let yourself go. You speak up, you're too sensitive. You're always picking fights. You're always bringing up old stuff. You stay quiet. Why are you in such a mood? And why do you always want to be mad? You can't win because winning would mean that you're not under his damn thumb. He doesn't want a partner. He wants control. He tells you he loves you, but he does that just enough to confuse you. And confusion isn't a side effect. It is the strategy, right? It's just enough love to keep you in place, just enough to make you question your instincts. Because if he didn't love you, you could leave, right? If he said, I hate you right from the beginning, you'd walk out the door. I know plenty of women whose partners straight up tell them, I can't stand you. And the woman stays. And everybody wants to know why she stays. We're not asking the right questions. What did he do to make it so hard for her? He wants you to think that he loves you, even when he says mean things. So you think he does, right? He says it. Sometimes he even shows it, but almost nothing else actually lines up with that word. This is cognitive dissonance, by the way, and I've got other videos on that. But fundamentally, this isn't love. It's manipulation with good PR. Real love, that's not hostile, and it doesn't feel like contempt, right? The Gottmans actually describe how contempt is the biggest relationship killer. Here it is. If you recognize this, you are not imagining it. You're seeing it clearly. If it feels like hate, it probably is. He hates you. And you don't need to stay and wait for him to say it out loud. He already is with his actions. If you're ready to just break this cycle, to stop shrinking and making yourself small for somebody who literally resents your existence, work with me in private coaching sessions or inside the Trauma Bond Recovery course where I teach my proven break and rebuild method. Drop a comment if this hits home, subscribe for more, and remember, you're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong person.